Wow, this is actually a lot of pus that came out of my neck.
I'm just gonna clip that line out of context. Hello, and there were I honestly cannot tell. Yeah, unfortunately, there were so much of us to the point where the selfie lens isn't wide enough, so I had to use the 13mm lens.
I move this a bit.
Okay, hopefully we're all in frame. Anyway, welcome to the, I want to say 11th episode of Tubi Trash, the show where we talk about terrible movies we find on Tubi. My name is Joe Carl Barth. I am the founder of Neuropena Productions.
I am Trent. I don't have much YouTube presence, but I'm looking for a job. Anyone? I'm desperate.
And I am Darren Logue. I talk about video games and books on my own YouTube channel, and I've been playing the Rugrats Retro Rewind, and I've already beat 2 of the games on there.
Jay McCarthy, station name Snarky McCarthy. Still keeping that hiatus going. For how long? You'll know.
So we watched Popeye the Slayer Man.
I am what I am.
So there's been this trend recently of cartoons and children's properties from roughly a century ago becoming public domain because legally they,
Disney couldn't take it back to court.
Yeah, well, and legally they've reached the amount of time that happens.
It all started with Blood and Honey.
Yeah, first it was Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
First it was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and then there's a Steamboat Willie one as well.
And then there's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2.
Or the Twisted Childhood universe, as it's called, because it includes also ones like Bambi.
And then, believe it or not, this is one of, 3 different Popeye ones. Not sequels, 3 completely independent of one another Popeye horror movies. So a bunch of people all had this idea at the same time. And it's no wonder, because this is obviously not a very original idea, because, like I said, it's been done with a bunch of other stuff. But it's also just, what annoys me about these movies is that it's just, the most obvious thing you could do. Once a kid-friendly thing becomes public domain, they take this thing that was once associated with innocence and kid-friendliness and make it into a violent slasher movie. It's not clever at all, and these aren't really horror comedies either. They don't
They take themselves way too seriously.
Yeah. And I understand why. They're not overtly comedies because the joke is supposed to be that they're taking this inherently ridiculous idea and playing it straight. I get it. It's just not clever.
The jokes overstay its welcome.
The problem also is it just feels, a lot of them basically feel like they just operate off the template and just give it a new coat, the slasher template, give it a new coat of paint.
Yeah, exactly. It's the joke is that the movie exists. There is no point in actually watching it because you get the idea just from the poster and the title.
They don't really put a switch on it. They don't really put any sort of switch on it, nor really take advantage of the techniques or trademarks associated with the character or the brand. So again, it's devoid of any real personality.
This one in particular, to be fair, does have some merits. Most notably, I think, on a technical level. The cinematography is actually not half bad for the most part.
Guys.
What?
A sequel to Popeye the Slayer Man is in development.
I totally called that the ending scene was sequel bait.
On a purely technical level, the cinematography for this movie is actually pretty good. The production design is questionable at times, but mostly not half bad. especially, I think, the practical gore effects are actually pretty impressive. Like,
Yes.
usually cheap cash-in horror movies like this just use bad CGI. But some effort... It didn't always look amazing or anything, but you can tell a lot of effort went into this,
Like-
which is more than I can say for most of these.
Like the part where the woman got scalped,
Yeah.
you could tell that was fake.
It looked kind of fake, but it was more effort than you would expect from this type of
Like,
movie.
they actually stuck to tangible in-camera practicality, which is funny considering, again, this is a cheap horror film. You think they want to cut every corner possible to maximize their theoretical return on investment.
And another thing, again, they didn't pull it off very well, but they do kind of try to add something almost resembling a twist on the horror slasher formula. It doesn't really work because we kind of all saw it coming a mile away, but
Do you know what it reminds me
they
of?
tried. What?
It actually reminds me of the reveal in 2013's Texas Chainsaw 3D.
The one that ignored all the sequels and just tried to pick up where the original left off.
But also-
before the Netflix film did it.
But also trying to make the character more tragic and sympathetic.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Again, it's like they didn't pull it off very well, but it tried. That's the most I can say, and it's not as like uniformly god awful as I expected it to be. Like,
You're good.
yeah,
The title sets up a very specific expectation. Honestly, it just sucks. That's something I do believe in by principle. The public domain can be a double-edged sword. Is there anything in the world that's not a double-edged sword, honestly?
I mean, like a single-edged sword. Sorry, that was lame.
That was good.
In short, like before we get to the specifics, I'll do this. In short, skip this, watch The Ugly Stepsister instead, because at least the horror twist on the Cinderella story has a purpose in the film and is actually pulled off well. Better makeup, too.
The Ugly Stepsister is technically a horror movie based on a public domain story, but it felt like it was made out of a genuine passion, not just
Yes.
like made to cash in on something that recently became public domain. Also because in that case it wasn't something that had recently been public domain, it's something that had been public domain for years, but
Yeah, but it puts a horror twist on a story, and it's actually does some deconstruction, and has some really impressive body horror. So yeah, it's pretty damn disgusting, so if you're not a body horror fan, skip it, but for me, it won me over, deserved that Oscar nomination for its makeup and hairstyling, and in general, actually served a real purpose and had a lot of necessary dramatic and thematic context that gave it a sense of purpose and meaning, unlike this.
anyway, there's a little mini Unpolished Gems episode inside of a Tubi Trash episode. Is the first thing we see the lady and the businessman meeting up to
No.
discuss the
So
property?
how
No, it
this
was
film
the
relies,
guy-
it relies on one
Right.
It
It was
relied-
the woman running from Ice Cube and Charlie Day.
It's this woman being chased down by two supposed drug dealers, though they barely resemble them, and if so, it's like in a 1990s sense, but maybe that's just how I perceive
Like-
it. But she
like-
stole drugs from two guys, and eventually catch up to her, and she decides to get it back up. Then he decide, hey, let's just violate her. The Popeye character comes out of nowhere and kills them. He says his catchphrase.
I am what I am.
That's our
We
opening.
never see that girl again. By the
Yeah,
way.
she doesn't
Oh,
die.
yeah.
She doesn't die or anything. She doesn't even. I don't think we even see her run away. She just disappears from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that later we see that Popeye does spare people, so I'm gonna just headcanon that he spares her and she flees town, changes her name, and lives the rest of her life with a bit of trauma, but fairly normal.
To each their own. Then after that, it just cuts to, I guess, a college setting.
I actually looked it up. It is...
College.
Shut up. Yes, it's college. But it's supposed to be State University of New York at Oneonta.
That does make sense because there were New York license plates. It looked kind of like upstate New York.
It was upstate, yeah.
Surprised
So-
considering how expensive it is, but moving on.
Still, a place where they filmed kind of looked like a high school, and it was a little hard to tell, especially given the actors are all probably over 25. Like, they looked our age or even older. He's so clumsy because clearly he's, like, mentally challenged, because, you know, he's still in high school despite being 30.
And you gotta love the character types we have, such as the main instigator for the plot, this extremely pretentious indie guerrilla filmmaker that wants to head out to
Dexter.
Yeah, his name's Dexter.
This guy who, for some reason, keeps his camera on a tripod.
Yeah, there are a bunch of shots of him carrying his equipment around, but not only is the tripod, like, never in its bag, he's just sort of carrying it around, and he even keeps the camera attached to it the whole time. Like, he's just carrying the camera and tripod around, which makes a certain amount of sense if you're, like, mid-shoot and you want to, you know, stop one shot and then go set up for another. But no, this is, like, before the shoot. That's just how he carries his shit around, which, like, is so ridiculously cursed.
He's
I
weird.
just
It's-
wanted to...
I hate it.
Yeah, he's trying to create this indie documentary about this factory that's about to be demolished and replaced with
And-
elitist property. And supposedly there's like sort of dark history behind it. And he brings along a ragtag group of losers. A black-haired girl, a blonde girl. Also the black girl's head's name's Olivia. Foreshadowing.
Did you say the black girl's head is named Olivia?
Son of a bitch!
It's only her head.
The black
No, there is no black girl, to be clear.
black-haired
girl.
black-haired girl's named Olivia.
Wait, guys, it's Olivia, not Rigo.
Oh,
But also
The pain I felt. There's a
didn't
ginger.
go anywhere.
There's Katie, the fake ginger.
yeah, and that's
then
such
there's the guy she's dating who's, like, the least likable character, Joey.
Fake gingers are terrible.
Fake gingers actually don't have souls.
Exactly. If you're this is a PSA. If you're faking being ginger, stop. Thank you.
anyways.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah,
Stop it. Get some help.
at
She's
this
a
bartender in this small town where the factory's located. And also that bar scene includes a cameo from Bluto, right?
No. At the beginning, they say, "Dude, what do you mean you want to put burgers on an IOU?" I looked at it. I was like, "What the? Is that Wimpy?"
Wimpy, sorry. But yeah, with that also it includes, amongst many cliches, they include that one involving the Quint from Jaws knockoff.
Yeah, the old man who tries to warn them, except unlike Quint, he doesn't actually go and help.
Yeah, but he's just a guy that exists that just gives one of many instances of clunky expositional dialogue regarding this legend that surrounds this factory and this Sailor Man character.
Yeah, they just call him the Sailor Man because, admittedly, I get why, because that way it sounds more like a local urban legend. Because, like, presumably the Popeye cartoons don't exist in this universe. He is just a local urban legend.
Breathing on me, dude.
Well, not just an urban legend, it's just like an actual person too, or like an actual real thing. But anyway.
So yeah, also like the ginger bartender and the douchebag boyfriend who is comically over the top and sociopathic and loves to hurt people in front of others and not really get called out on it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they-
here, remember his two friends
Yeah.
too, who don't
So
last
there
long.
is the black guy Terry, who I want to say has like
I'll
the
let you
worst
explain.
pun associated with his death, but I'm not gonna get there yet.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And a skinhead.
To be clear, not an actual skinhead, but like he really does look like it. Like he's not only bald, he looks like he deliberately shaved his head bald.
And yeah, with the gang all riled up, they get to that warehouse that's not really isolated. There's actually like a few shots where there's actually cars parked across the road that separates it from the dock.
Yeah, there were even like houses and stuff in the background. Like you can tell they wanted this to be an old abandoned warehouse, but it's very obviously not. Like, this is just probably the only place they had access to film at.
And the weird
ironically.
thing is, there's an easy fix. Angle the camera so that the houses aren't visible. It's not that hard to do. They did it before a few times, then they decided to just throw it away and kill any semblance of it being remote.
Yeah.
Especially because there's a lot of cars on that other side of the street. But with that, they break in and they start documenting. And weird thing is, despite having also a camcorder, he somehow has access to trail cams for night vision, and he has there's 2 of them that
I
are
don't-
I
mounted.
mean, I'm guessing he was trying to like get a bunch of coverage all
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah, but
He looked at trail cams.
we didn't know it was trail cams because I think you joked it, Darren.
I thought
that-
it. No, it was me.
You. Yeah, it looks like C4.
Yeah, it looked exactly like C4 from Call of Duty.
Yeah, legitimately, it did look like it was some sort of like bomb. Like it looked like he was about to tell them to like run away and cover their ears, and it was gonna blow. But no,
That would have been interesting.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, so they go in and they film, and they make it a point to say that also that they didn't get a permit or anything. And of course, pretentious film bro guy goes like, oh, that doesn't matter. It's cinema verite. It's, we don't care about permits, whatever.
Well,
I hated
Well, you're
when
still-
he said that.
you're still gonna be charged with filming without a permit, even if the documentary is a success.
Well, if they find out, that's supposed to be the idea. Because, like, to be fair, there are people who do that and get away with it. It's just like,
Yeah, Urban Explorers. I know.
Yeah.
One of my friends is one.
God, the plot of this movie is so generic. What I don't remember the
So
order.
the same warehouse from Hard Kill.
It's
Which,
not actually the
to
same
be clear,
warehouse.
it's probably not, because at least that warehouse actually looked abandoned and
Yes.
It was also much more open,
yeah.
which is weird because this place is supposed to be up for demolition, yet there's so many bags of filler, cement, and other kinds of materials just lying around the place, and also stacked industrial shelves.
Oh, we should also explain what the factory actually is. And
Oh,
why Popeye is
It's a
there.
cannery.
So yeah, it's a spinach cannery, ha ha ha, which is already dumb enough in and of itself, but also. So the reason why the Sailor Man exists supposedly is because I hate the way they phrased it. It almost worked, and then they decided to use a really dumb word. They probably meant to say that the spinach had a biological mutation or something. What they actually ended up saying was that it had a neurological infection. As if spinach has neurons. As if the spinach has a brain or something. Neurological infection?
Not a bacterial infection that can cause neurological damage. That's more believable.
Spinach doesn't have a brain? How do you have a neurological infection of spinach?
It's just distributing spinach is a
Wait.
bioweapon.
The spinach has autism?
I'm just thinking
No
distributing.
wait, RFK Jr., take a look at this. Spinach gives you autism.
Nobody spelled check that in the script.
Yeah,
as
or
if-
nobody bothered to do nobody bothered to do a second take and maybe rephrase it a little bit or something.
That's also a possibility.
It's amazing. And this weird thing
Yeah, we
is,
got what we needed.
it's not like bacteria, bacterial infections, especially severe ones, can't damage your brain or cause brain damage or cause neurological issues. They've been documented throughout history. So this just makes it even more idiotic. And yeah, that's a big reveal. This Popeye guy exists because he ate mutated spinach.
They called it neurological, even though it's clearly just supposed to be it's radioactive, biologically infected spinach that makes you have big muscles and super strong and live a long time, I guess. That's clearly what it was supposed to be.
Whoa.
Why didn't they just fucking say that? Even in this movie,
It's not a neurological infection.
even with this movie's insane
Being
logic.
ginger is. I want to talk about the first death in the factory since they were there. And that was Miss Ma'am, who was going to pick up her folder. from the beginning of the movie because she dropped her folder when she was talking to the businessman. And she came back.
Oh, she's the one that was scalped.
Yeah, she gets scalped.
Honestly, the actual kills in this movie, for the most part, are not awful. Like, they're not the biggest complaint I have.
Although
I like-
they use too many of the same. They use far too many of the same ones.
They do, but it's like
the one where the wrist is snapped.
oh yeah,
Yes.
they do that one twice. That's true. But it's like they're not the worst I've seen. They're fine for the most part.
Though
They
there
put
is
her
one
in-
thing about this plot that does baffle me because before the filmmaker gang gets there, it's actually being looked at by a real estate agent or something like that, set for it to be demolished so it would be turned into like what waterfront properties, what kind of crap.
Yeah.
Because it's revealed that like this company owns like half the town, but that's such a meaningless point in the film itself. Like it doesn't really come up besides a mention, and then they just move on. But even that, like a guy who's somehow like this bodyguard.
Oh him! I forgot about him. Louis C.K.
He does look like Louis C.K.
She ran away because he started whipping his thing out.
Shit. He comes across like these bodies that were murdered in the opening, and nothing comes out. Like, and that brings more things to question, such as, wait, he found them. Did he not call the cops? Was he killed by Popeye? Oh wait, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
killed.
he does get killed. By
That's
Popeye.
why. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
He tries to fight Popeye.
And that's another problem. Also, they reveal Popeye's full face too early.
Not only that, like the
Yeah.
face just does not look good.
That's the thing that looks the worst out of anything else when it comes to practical effects. The Popeye character is really hard to make threatening or look good in a horror film, but it especially there looks fake because it's extremely rubbery. There's like no real sense of actual skin texture, and his face, I mean, he has like a shovel chin.
Which like is kind of par for the course for this kind of movie, but you would at least think that again, this one, the practical effects are at least above average. Like you'd think that of all things might be something they would get right,
Yeah,
but
and
apparently not.
They don't even do a good job revealing his face. No epic reveal. They just like have one shot where his face is not in the shadows, and it's like, okay, that's it. This is what he looks like. Moving
Also,
on.
a lot of times before he's revealed, he's actually a silhouette, and I'm sorry, the outline just looks funny because again of his bulging arms.
Yes.
Also, his voice is just a generic gruff voice. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not a play on the original voice at all. Like
No.
Acres away.
Most of his kills are actually a lot of them are melee based. Which yes, Popeye has a lot of melee stuff, but he never does like of course gearing up his arm to punch anybody or ever really doing anything like or anything
which that might have been hard to do in that costume, to be fair.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a lot of just more kind of like almost like wrestling based moves.
Like more grappling than.
Yeah. And that's just, and again, and because they're so repetitious in that approach, it just makes the kills competent at best, but really kind of par for the course rather than anything really unique or stand out.
Mm-hmm.
The anchor one was kind of creative, I guess.
So the next kill was Joey and Katie, the fake ginger, who we don't like. They meet up, and the sailor man sees them and decides, oh wait, no, the skinhead stabs him.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because redheaded girl's boyfriend, like I said, Joey, he never joins, but he is paranoid and of course very insecure. So he gets his black friend and his skinhead friend to just like join him to go to the factory and I guess confront her and of course the filmmaker, and that ends up backfiring. But before that, there's actually admittedly a scene that John Carl and to an extent me found was funny, where again rip-off Quint is talking and he's just told to shut up.
Wait, how did that was a random segue?
Well, I'm just trying to add more context. Like again, like at the bar, they're just the three are just talking.
I know, but it's like you said them one after the other as if they were at all related, like as a compound sentence, but they were like you know,
Yeah,
like,
I think
yeah, he tries to kill him with a knife, and it's a whole thing. And also earlier at the bar, he says something about telling him to shut up. You know, it's a whole thing.
But yeah, but
so-
Skinhead told like the guy Bernie what a name to shut up, and that's about it. I guess he couldn't be the Bluto guy unless he's supposed to be, but I couldn't tell.
No.
Nope.
So the skinhead
This is gonna be fun to edit.
gets his eyes gouged out, and his head gets turned 180 degrees. Then the gun drops, which, yes, there is a pistol, and he does the first wrist.
Yeah, it's because I think he gets the black guy first and breaks his wrist.
Yes.
Well, I thought the black guy was the second one though, wasn't he?
No,
'Cause
he
the
was
first
the
guy
first one.
I thought the first one was
Oh.
one of the drug dealers from earlier.
I think it's about the next. I guess it's about the next set of kills, like who gets killed first, like afterwards, the opening.
So, yeah, so the next one was the anchor scene.
Anchors away.
I want to say that it was good
Honestly, it was
until he went in for the kill. Anchors away.
that was corny.
No.
Yeah, no.
It was kind of corny, but also like it's again, what do you expect from this kind of movie?
Yeah.
First of all,
And also, you could tell the anchor was just a prop that they bought from a Halloween store.
yeah, obviously the anchor looked fake. It's like, but anyway, whatever. Yeah, okay. So it was one of yes, the anchors away thing was corny, but that's kind of par for the course for this type of movie. The actual kill was admittedly like one of the more creative and fun ones. In
Yes,
the movie. That's-
I can agree.
It just needed more of a budget to be
Like-
standout.
Like we've been saying, the kills in this are actually pretty good.
They range from like competent to pretty good, and the anchor one is
I think-
on the better end of that scale.
Well, some deaths were actually not because of Popeye. Some of them are actually caused by the characters being idiots.
True. What is the next death? Like
The
what,
next death is the idiots.
Okay, so after like
which idiots?
The team of Dexter and Olivia go down and see Katie's bracelet, and she's just gone.
well, that's later
So
on.
we just don't know where Katie is.
Yeah, she just.
Well, no. Yeah, remember. There's because Katie, quote unquote, dies before,
being revealed.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
She
we
get-
need to talk about that, dude. We can't just.
Yeah.
Oh! Also, Joey shoots his girlfriend.
Yeah, like Joey.
Joey has the gun, and he like at one point gets startled and panics and shoots what he thinks is Sailor Man, but it's actually just Katie, and he just like abandons her because he's an asshole.
And she starts screaming. Dexter and black hair girl hear it, and then they come across the area, and her bracelet's gone. So we're led
Her
to this.
bracelet is there. She's
Her
gone.
her fate is implied, but not confirmed. We'll get to that later. But also, at some point, the blonde-haired guy and the other dude that's not Joey and not Dexter decides to try making a run for it, and this dumbass thinks it's
So-
a great idea to.
Shimmy over a rail.
Oh
Like,
yeah, this was
to-
by far the dumbest pair of deaths.
Yes.
He can't even get a grip of it. He falls to the floor. You think he's dead, but it turns out he landed on something soft. But his foot is caught in a net, and it leads up to a shelf where there's rebar on it, and he's trying to get his foot stuck.
But the blonde comes in and is just like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I guess. And then she kisses him. And he is like a dog. His leg shakes and it pulls the rebar right into his stomach.
Even though it did not look sharp enough or far away enough to like be able to impale him.
Yes.
And then she runs
Wait.
away in sort of
She
fear.
runs away in fear.
And it gets
Cut.
even stupider, but we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah. But that was the next death.
Oh!
Yeah, the next one's
Yeah.
even dumber.
Yeah,
The next one is
but
even
I think-
dumber.
But I think there's details before that because Dexter and black hair girl, I don't know her name. I don't.
Olivia,
Thank you.
because that
Oh,
actually
yes.
that actually becomes important.
I can't. I actually said that earlier in the video. How did I forget?
Yeah.
God damn it. Anyways, they actually come across files that somehow have not been confiscated by the authorities and are pretty good condition. Then again, this warehouse looks in very good condition despite being abandoned for like, what, 2 decades? And they come across, again, the reason this place shut down was because of that contamination. They come across photos of the Sailor Man, who looks like a blend of...
No. That was in his...
Oh, that was his tomb. Okay,
Yeah.
so...
His what?
I don't know.
His home.
I call it tomb because I don't know.
Not really
Okay,
a
so
tomb.
never mind. We'll get
That's
to
what
that.
I'm saying.
Whatever. I'm just desperately trying to say words.
You're good.
So they come across like all these files that have newspaper clippings involving like a potential whistleblower, and I guess it led to being shut down, but it didn't really become a big story because small town. But with it, there is a key card, and it says olive oil on it.
Can we talk about the dumbest death?
The blonde decides to
The
make a run
blonde
for
is
it.
running from... Yes.
She ends up in the same 2-story bridge-like area where the boyfriend was. She leaps off and lands
Well,
in
no. Not even. So what she does is she tries to do the same thing the boyfriend tried to do.
Yes.
And here's the thing. I thought what was going to happen is she was going to actually succeed. Because that might have made some kind of narrative sense. Like,
Yes.
because it's almost shot for shot the exact same. It's like we see the close-up of her hands
Yes.
and her trying, and you think it's going to be like, oh, he failed, but she succeeds. Yay. But no, it's literally just the exact same thing. She just falls down. And she gets impaled by the rebar that impaled the boyfriend too.
and she lands and
On top of him.
and the weird part, and I think that's actually meant to be a payoff to an exchange they had earlier regarding them having sex, saying like being like which one would be on top.
Yes.
Oh, really?
think-
Yes.
I did not
think-
pick up on that.
I
That is
think
insane.
so.
That
Yeah,
is-
like
Yeah, I picked up on that. I was just not even... I didn't even care to mention it.
Well.
so dumb. Dexter and Olivia are trying to escape out a door. Popeye is there. His arm is grasped, and then it's broken. But however, it doesn't go any further than that because Olivia tells Popeye to let him go.
And then
And
he
it
just
works.
does. Yeah.
What?
They start running away, but as he's being bandaged up, he starts questioning more about her origin and her true self. They just kind of lampshade that.
But then they make it into...
The guy's home, where they come across photos. He was a boxer once before,
Yes.
and he looks like a normal guy, a
And-
mix of Vin Diesel and The Rock. And then a photo of his family that includes that olive oil, and there's a child there.
It's Sweet Pea. That's the name of the child from
Yeah.
the cartoon.
Olivia has quite a similar resemblance to her mother.
Wait.
Yeah, so Olivia is Sweet Pea. That's
Yeah.
what they're saying. And it's like, honestly, I don't even know why we decided to hold off on revealing that, because we saw it coming a mile away. Let's be real, you probably did too. You watching this video, you probably knew exactly where that was going. It's like, it tries to, I guess you could say, put a twist on the slasher formula, but even that manages to be super predictable.
And with that, Joey comes in.
Guns blazing.
He has such an erratic brain that he decides that he wants to kill the guy, but also threatens to shoot the other two. Then Popeye catches up to him, and Popeye becomes the hero in this moment. He's vanquished with the two...
Also worth mentioning, that is also, I think, one of the better kills in the
Yes.
movie. Like, it's not... it's-
Clubbing with your arm.
Yeah, he rips
Yeah.
off his arm and then clubs him with it. It's dumb, but it's entertaining, and it's done with a pretty good practical effect, if not
Yes.
necessarily a great one.
So yeah, the two get out of there, and it turns out, oh, Red's still alive. I guess she was waiting on the ground floor outside. But
Yeah,
she's
she's just like perfectly fine, just kind of holding the wound like this.
It's the guy
just
from
nonchalantly.
it's the guy from Hard Kill that,
Yeah, exactly.
that got shot, but there was no payoff.
Yeah,
Like he didn't die.
and it's like, yeah, she literally was just like apparently standing there standing there putting pressure on the wound, and that
Like,
was enough.
Oh, hey guys.
Yeah.
Like Olivia says, we're gonna get you some help, I promise. Although, considering he's killed a lot of innocents, I think it's time to draw a line.
Yeah, dude.
Gotta-
Like, you can make your... Well, first of all, I think maybe this is probably giving the movie too much credit, but I think that maybe by having some of the kills be like accidentally self-inflicted rather than actually done by Popeye. I think maybe they were trying to have it be like, oh, he's not as evil as you think he is, but he is still a murderer. Like, he does still kill people who really kind of didn't deserve it.
He is what he is.
Then ambulance comes taking him away. She's taking away in a stretcher, but not the guy with the broken arm.
With the compound fracture.
And the police say, yeah, we can't find the sailor man. And then they look off upwards,
And he's still there.
in the window.
Let's not forget the extremely forced title drop.
Let's get to the
Yeah,
ratings.
let's just get this over with. I'm so done talking about this. So as a movie on its own, I'm gonna go. I guess 4. That feels a little bit generous, but honestly, the production value, the cinematography, and especially those gore effects are like the only thing really saving it from a 3 or lower. And in terms of good bad value, I don't know, man. I guess also a 4, because it's like every great now and then it got an unintentional laugh out of me, but they were just so ridiculously few and far between. And I really want to stress, this kind of movie is just like, it's very, very difficult to genuinely make it good bad, just because like to make a real good bad movie, you have to do it in earnest. Like, you have to try to make a good movie, and then you have to fail big. Like, the best bad movies are all like done in complete earnest, and they're not like cheap cash grabs trying to, market themselves toward good bad movie fans, which this very clearly is.
Yeah, like Plan 9 from Outer Space or The Room.
Yeah, well, exactly. And this type of movie, this public domain slasher trend, is just the antithesis of that, and I cannot give this any higher than a 4 on either scale. All right, what about y'all?
I can go next. For as a movie on its own, I give it a 3 out of 10, and ironic enjoyment, I give it a 5 out of 10.
Popeye. It is one of my is a core memory for me. Watching Popeye with my dad.
Nice.
I came into this seeing that it was Popeye. I was like, no way. And as a Popeye fan, I'd say, okay, that was a movie. On the enjoyment scale, on the movie scale, it's a 3. Like, it's not a good movie. It's a slasher, easily. But on the enjoyment scale, getting the deep cut Popeye references, but also just watching it, it's a 4. It pains me to say it.
All right, so on my end,
It's a 4.
For which? For as a movie or ironic enjoyment?
Entertainment, ironic.
Okay.
so genuine score 3, ironic about might be a little generous to say 5 because I was in some decent hysterics myself, probably more than anyone else here. So
No, it
definitely,
was
but
funny,
I didn't. But yeah, there wasn't enough unintentional hilarity sprinkled throughout. Then again, maybe we did peak with Shark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, I just think this. Maybe I should. So I haven't really talked about this on camera yet, but I've officially put a veto on any more Bruce Willis movies because there's pretty
Yes, 100%.
those are just they're all just too depressing knowing the circumstances, and there's a very, very small chance, if not 0% chance, that any of them are actually going to end up being, entertaining in any way.
Yes.
I think, honestly, even though we've only done one so far, I might just put a ban on these public domain slasher movies too, because despite occasionally being unintentionally funny, the cynicism just reeked throughout. And mind you, this is a slightly above average one. This is one with actually pretty good cinematography and production value and stuff, like I said. I can only imagine, if it only goes downhill from here, there is no way in hell. I genuinely don't want to watch another one of these.
Hey, at least we tried.
Hey, I just realized.
What?
Hell. That's downhill from there.
From what?
From here.
Okay.
Hell is downhill from here. So that's where this movie is going.
Oh, okay.
I recommend another. If we're going to do other wordplay, I recommend the video game Down Well. Moving on.
Alright, I guess that's probably going to do it for today. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, we dig through the dumpster of Tubi Trash.
Ah, my foot.
My foot. My foot.
I always want to do that. Just because you have a slate now.
Everybody,
Where's the-
clap
well,
your
I-
hands.
I-
Clap your hands. Clap.
I had one for a
Clap
long
your
time.
hands.
I just couldn't find it.
Forgot. I love that.
You misplaced it.
This room is really not ideal for filming, I just realized.
But yeah,